что если кто-то считает возможным поставлять такое оружие в зону боевых действий для нанесения ударов по нашей территории и создания проблем для нас, то почему у нас нет права поставлять наше оружие такого же класса в те регионы мира, где будут наноситься удары по чувствительным объектам тех стран, которые делают это в отношении России? Что если кто-то считает возможным поставлять такое оружие в зону боевых действий для нанесения ударов по нашей территории и создания проблем для нас, то почему у нас нет права поставлять наше оружие такого же класса в те регионы мира, где будут наноситься удары по чувствительным объектам тех стран, которые делают это в отношении России? С точки зрения наличия советников, инструкторов, то здесь новизны никакой нет, они присутствуют на территории Украины. И, к сожалению, для них несут потери.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Alright, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of greatness who naturally doing well. Salutation to each and every one of Yakim that push this gospel out there in sincerity and in truth. Alright, and to the sincere Aqua that listen in silence, to you, say shalom also. Right, as we know, this year, the year that hopefully all prophecies be fulfilled, you know. As you could see in the news, if anybody take time, you know, to really read and understand what's going on, right? Prophecies are being fulfilled. Alright. You know, Brother Lamar here once again, alright? From Trinidad, you know. So yeah, as you can see the time, right? So I was just watching all the news, you know, as that is the spirit that us normally be in, right? Watching all of the news, alright, and prophecies are being fulfilled left, right, and center. Yo, it's time for you Negroes, Latinos, and natives to wake up. But at the end of the day, two-thirds of all people shall perish and die. You know, you can't go against the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, as scripture says in Romans chapter 9:17. Basically, you know, whoever roughly paraphrasing, went against the will of the Lord. Alright, but we see in where things are coming together. Where with Yahweh Shem El Shai, the God of heaven and earth, he bringing things to pass. Alright, especially of Gog Magog. You see Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, right? Also the leader of Gog and Magog, according to the scriptures. If anybody go and look up, biblical maps where Gog and Magog is, is the land of Russia. And this is the Cold War starting all over again, leading into World War 3. Alright. The Third World War. Now we know the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, supposed to play off also, which it's already working, But they probably could use World War 3 since, if I may say this, I speak as a man, or have KO, and according to the Georgia Guidestones that they had there in the United States of America to depopulate the world underneath 500 million, they probably could use World War 3 also to start to, implement the MOTD, which is Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, the micro C hip. Alright, that little rice grain, and also that brain micro hip, underneath Elon Musk to put in the brains of the whole entire world, But really and truly, it's more dangerous to you Negroes, Latinos, and natives, since that the micro C hip is a badge of honor or a badge of servitude or ownership. We as Negroes, Latinos, and natives, the children of Israel, we belong to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? And by you taking this, showing that you are in league with the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. But we see in prophecies being fulfilled right about now, where Gog and Magog, which is Russia, the Lord putting that spirit upon them from provocation from the west. A lot of people say, unprovoked Russia went into Ukraine, but they don't know the history and the treaties and that Russia had with NATO. And NATO, just like what they did the Native Americans, they broke all the treaties. It's the same goddamn shit NATO doing with Russia. Do not move 1 inch east, and we will not move 1 inch west. But NATO keep on taking European countries and taking them into the NATO alliance and arming them with weapons facing Russia. Right? So what's going on with Vladimir Putin saying, if it is that all they could do that, bringing in countries and such and weaponizing them to aim at us, why can't I do the same thing? Same thing that they did in the Cold War, USSR at the time, the Soviet Union, and they brought missiles basically into Cuba. Now it's a radar range right about now, because we see a lot of countries making league with Russia. But anyway, this is Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 1. And the word of Yahweh, full caps, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right? Why to prophesy against him? Right? Because what? It is in the heart of the Messiah by Hashem El Shai to destroy these nations off of the face of the earth at the end of the day. Scripture say, and I will get at also in what is that? Second is just 15, I think it's 20. If not 15, 20, 16, 20, I shall call all the nations of the earth to reverence me. This is why also the Euphrates River is dried up pursuant to Revelation 16 and verse 8, right? To make the way of the kings of the east, which right about now we see in the way of the kings of the east are rising up, alright? It says, and said, thus said the Lord Paul, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Alright, Meshech and Tubal, as I say, you have to go back into biblical maps, and I think one of them actually goes back into Turkey, alright, the Ottoman Turks. But anyway, going on, if I'm mistaken, I always stand to be corrected, alright, because it's a good while I need to actually look up the maps, right? It says, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen. How the Lord doing that right about now? Most times, if you watch the news, for those who paying attention, you will always hear the Russians say, yo, we don't want to go to war. They try the best to avoid the West, the policies. When Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, when he became president in the year 2000 or in 2001 after 9/11. He was the first one to touch on in the US, gave aid, help. He tried to launch an investigation to see what went on, why it is this went on with them. He gave them money, he gave his condolences to the America, and going through the years he realized that America is not as friendly as him. All right. Now, if you really watch, let me say for face value, you know, most of these Russians, they, because Gog and Magog, they are children of the Japhetic. But if you watch Russia right about now, you'll mostly see for face value, which I mean face value is the outward appearance of them, not the inward appearance of the spirit. They seem as Edomites. So henceforth the scriptures say, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, America against Russia. That is Esau basically against Esau right about now, because the spiritual Egyptians are the Edomites, the so-called white man, for the slavery that they had the Negroes, Latinos, and natives underneath. Alright? But basically how it is that this is going on right about now is because the West keep on provoking the Russians right about now. Every time, I mean, look what's going on right about now. They say, yo, if you keep on sending military aid to Ukraine, you will be escalating the war. Alright, you'll be escalating the war, and they keep on doing certain things. They say if you send troops, there's a provocation, because if I hit one of all your members, whatever the case is, NATO will have to be involved according to the NATO treaty. You hit one NATO member, you hit all. You send your French troops inside out there, yo, we're going to have problems, yo. There's going to escalation if it is that you use your weapons to strike within my vicinity. Yo, there's a red line. You all are being basically deliberately a part of the war, for the lack of better words. You understand? And a scene where Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, that Jewish 1948, right? Because he's not Ukrainian. He has always been asking and provoking the West to use the United States and Western allies, NATO allies, weapons to strike within Russia, which is a red line against the Russians and their doctrine, a strike on the motherland, right? For those of you who don't know, the Ukrainians and the Russians are basically family, right? Going back, they share a lot of history together. The whole USSR, Soviet Union, a lot of them, they break off. Latvia, Lithuania, all these other countries that actually went against and joined the blasted West. All of that is provocation against Russia. So this is where the Mosai putting hooks into the jaws and bringing them forth, them and their armies, right? Because now Russia have to round up their troops now, to defend the motherland. What they're trying to do is demilitarize Ukraine and push them back, from because so long say you bring your weapons within Ukraine, that is very close to danger for the Russians, right? A lot of people don't know that, right? Right, verse 4 again. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. And that going back to the military, the armament, the horsemen, the tankers, the armored vehicles, because they ride on blasted horses now, isn't that so? Right? People who ride on horses now, I mean, these things, they carry horsepower, all right? It says all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, right? Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? So even the tankers, they're armored all over, so like shields, you understand, and the sword right now is the cannon or certain guns that they have on top of them, all right? It says Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Africa, and Libya. We'll have to check out Libya. I think that's an African nation. With them all, of them with shield and helmet. And right about now, if people don't know, right, Persia is Iran. They have a league with the Iranians, isn't that so? Because Vladimir Putin and the Iranians, especially, he gave his condolences and was offering to help after the helicopter crash of Rashi Rashi um Ibrahim Rashi, if I'm not pronouncing my name wrong, the former or the deceased president of Iran or Persia, you know, they were close. And what Vladimir Putin said, Russia was a man of his word. And that is what people respect, a man of the word. Right? The butcher of Tehran. The man was a good butcher. I ain't care what nobody had to say. Alright? Do anybody have a problem? Take it up to God in prayer. He is a leader in a country, you have to be strict, right? Ethiopia, which basically talking about the whole land of Ham right about now, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Goma and all his bands, the house of Togama of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself thou, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that is what Russia doing right about now. He is being a guard unto all these nations that once was being bullied by the West, by America, by NATO, by EU, by being sanctioned, the robbing them of the resources of the gold and all these things. Alright? So that is, these are prophecies that are being fulfilled right about now. Russia is being a guard unto them. Right now, it was last year the vice president of America, what's that woman in Kamala Harris. She went into Africa to try to bully them to accept LGBT, the pride flag. Russia got rid of it. And these African nations, these Hamitic nations, the Ethiopians, right, coming all the way down, they refuse. They say, yo, Kenya and all these cases, dog, we don't want that in the country. Get rid of that. God make man for woman and woman for man, not man for man and woman for woman. You see that craziness? We get rid of that out of here. You understand? Why you think these other nations, they ain't gonna look to invade Iran and all these different countries? Because Russia is a guard unto them. Russia, alright, the land of Gog and Magog, they have the most sophisticated nuclear bombs in the world. The missiles, the ICBM, the horsemen, alright, they are the fastest and smartest. The fastest that could break up to Mach 20 times faster than the speed of sound, right? Could basically evade any anti-missile systems or batteries that are out there. I mean, come on. You really want with the Russians, and then look back in them China, the land of Moab right about now, and then North Korea. Iran, which is Persia, is Gomar, I think Gomar, Togomar, one of them is Turkey, which Erdogan, right, the president of Turkey, though he's a NATO member, though Turkey is a NATO member, he's a close friend to Vladimir Putin. And then the whole West, at the end of the day, they went and turned their back against the United States of America, France, and the UK, Britain, because they themselves have missiles. And I've keep on be saying on the works with Big Brother Makaza, alright, yo, Macron, he say Europe supposed to have their own military. We fed up of being a vassal state, or no, he said we are not a vassal state of the United States of America. But yet all of them are being drawn into the war. Because what? This is the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Right? So let me get out real quick. Second Ezra, I think it's 1620 if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Then no, it is 1520. Right. Second Ezra 15 and verse 20. It says, behold, said the Most High Power, Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. So now we don't use the term king, but a king is a ruler. So rulers now, what are their names? We have supreme leaders, like in Iran. We have presidents. We have prime ministers, because like in our country here in the Caribbean, the president might be the head of state in the sense of where they control the military, but the prime minister is the one who actually calls most of the shit. So the president do say shit in this country. Alright? Then in other certain parts of Europe, they still have kings, yes, so forth and so forth. But the presidents and the prime ministers are the ones that actually, call the shots. Alright? So it says, behold, said the Most High Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, right? That is going quite down in Japan. From the south, basically like Australia and all these places, because they're preparing for war also. From the east, and Lebanon to turn themselves one against another, and repair the things that they have done to them. Repair the things that they have done to you. To who? The Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Alright, so the Most High Yahweh Hashem Shai calling all these kings together for a particular reason. Now, I don't really, care who vex. Alright? I actually like Vladimir Putin. His attitude towards the West, the man just don't give a fuck. Right? He's a Edomite. Right? We're not supposed to be friends. We're not supposed to be in that spirit of Judas Maccabees also. Alright? And if a lot of people don't know, you read the account of Judas Maccabees and the whole history of the children of Israel, the Most High gets upset when they put their trust in man. You make a league with these other nations to help defend you, whatever the case is. Let me show you something. When you read the whole book of the Maccabees, right? First Maccabees, second Maccabees. Judas Maccabees was winning these wars. He might have 8,000 men going up against 1,000,000 and whatever the case is. Do you notice it's only when Judas Maccabees make a league with the Romans that is when he died in battle? You're supposed to put your trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, not trust in man. Especially worse yet, the Greeks and the Romans. The Greeks and the Romans, which are not natural Japhetic people, but Edomites that went to there and conquered their land, or basically merge yourself with them. Most I hate these people. Alright? Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is World War One, World War Two, and World War Three. Mainly World War Three, because all these nations they are going to come down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. The Euphrates River done dried up. They're going to come down there in the Middle East, the war of Armageddon. Because guess what? This war might not only spark with Ukraine and Russia, but it could spark with Israel and talking about Hezbollah now, and even talking about Hamas. Because I hear in the IDF, right? Israel Defense, forgive me for the F, you know. But you know they done effing up Palestine on any Hamas. And now they look into war with Lebanon, the Hezbollah. These places are back with Iran. And what the scripture say? Magog, Magog, Persia with thee. Persia is Iran. So, if it is that you're going and look up a vassal state, right, because the Hezbollah is backed by Iran, and if something going on with Hezbollah, Iran will have to help in Lebanon, you understand? They are their proxy, then guess what? Russia will have to jump in to help. Russia and China have a league. Them are North Korea. Who you think with that? Come on. They are going to help. Worse yet, if China look to invade Taiwan, which there are rumors, because as Yahushua HaMashiach said, alright, our Lord and Savior, there shall be wars and rumors of wars. There's a rumor right about now that sometime this year that China is looking to invade Taiwan. They were supposed to do it last year. Who said they get them vexed when Nancy Pelosi went over there and she fresh Edomitish ass, you know, the place she going on thing over there in Taiwan. Then only looking to supply Taiwan with weapons when the Chinese acknowledge Taiwan as one of their territories, because the Taiwanese and the Chinese, when they do the history, they were people. The Chinese used to rule Taiwan before that whole conflict they are believing in World War II. You know, even going back into the 17th century, 18th century, there, whatever the case is, they had problems with Japan. And one of the reasons why, you know, China and Japan, for those of you who don't know, actually went to war, because Japan was came with the Chinese and America had business going on in China, so they used to defend China because Japan was with the Chinese. As they say, American interests. So long as America don't have too much interest in the land again, then away with you. They have interest in Taiwan. Why they have interest in Taiwan? Because they want the semiconductors to make the microchips. Come on, you people need to use your goddamn head out there. Alright? It says going on, Joel 3, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and natives, you hard-headed niggers. Alright, I will say that because of their hard-headed and stubborn, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, and who have been scattered amongst the nations, our people, and parted our land, right? These 1948ers, alright, and also they're bringing in other people saying that the lost tribes, right, like the Falasha Jews and all these other people, they are not Israel, right? Also the Arabs who have mosque and thing in Israel. Yo, we don't need no mosque in the land of Palestine, alright? And they have cast lots of my people, and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Alright, so yeah, we're going on further. They say that the sold us to the Grecians, that they, you know, may take us far from our land, because, you know, after 70 AD, you know, we fled into Africa, you know, scattered amongst African nations, end up in the western coast of Africa. Some of our people ended up in Europe, you know. So All people is a scattered sheep, as the scripture say. But yet, when you watch this, these are prophecies being fulfilled. So if at the end of the day Russia decides, yo, all you effing with me, I could take my arsenal and put it in other countries. And when they think about it, they could Salakia for the little noise vacuum. They could take their nuclear might, they could put it in certain African countries, right? Congo, I think Nigeria, Niger, all those places that were France out, that were Britain out. They could bring the nuclear arsenal there. I think them and Cuba still have a league. Yo, if they want Maduro from Venezuela, they could bring blasting missiles over there. Russia and China have a league, but over here in Trinidad, because Trinidad or in China, but afraid of America, they ain't going to play so stupid. But anything could happen. And it have a lot of countries right about now want to join the BRICS. They want to get away from America. So they could, just bring certain, because in Iran especially, or Turkey, though Turkey is a NATO member, they don't really want to with Europe. There's an Islamic State. They could bring missiles in Turkey and Iran and it'd be closer. You all want to strike